Hello and welcome. My name is Oren Gabay, and today we are going to do an unboxing of version 5 of OpenLM, which was just released. So we will install it together, configure. It's a short process, and as we go, I will explain about the new release. So I'm sharing my screen here, and let's just start. So what is our starting point? We start with a 4.8 version, already installed and partly configured. I don't have license server here, but I do have some Active Directory syncs. And the first stage that I would like to do is upgrade this system to version 5. So we will start the installation, and as we go, I will further explain what is new. So basically, the most significant thing will accept the default, and now it tells me that LDAP synchronization has been split from OpenLM server. And that's very important because OpenLM synchronizes groups and users between the organizational directory and OpenLM. And then based on these users and group, we can do many things like set roles and permission. We can collect usage for different group and then charge by cost centers, and we can allocate licenses based on that. We do a lot of things. Now, since OpenLM is growing, we are splitting functionality, and this time we split it the Active Directory Synchronization, which is called now Directory Synchronization. So I would say, I understand, I need to install it as a separate component, and I will just continue. I need to agree to the license, terms and condition, and I will just run the installation. Basically, what the system does now, it just installs the file and it will upgrade my database. So let's take this 2 minutes that it takes to speak about the new version. So one of the very important things is that we developed version 5 based on .NET Core framework. It's a new framework, and the main functionality that is important for us is that we can run the code on any platform. So basically, this code can run on Unix, Linux, and other operating systems, and Windows, of course. And that's very critical for our customer. And this specific version doesn't yet run on Linux because we have a configuration form that is still WinForm. We are working to convert it to run on the browser, and then it will be completely platform agnostics. So you can just install it anywhere. So this was done, and let's launch the user interface. Now I'm going to use this browser for this stage. So it's Edge. It's the new version of Edge, and it's based on Chromium. So as you can see here, I've got version 5. And before we go into the main thing, which is the directory synchronization, you can see here that the system already recognized that there are brokers, OpenLM broker, sending information to me, and it's just asking me to approve that. So I'm going to approve it and give it a server description. So just so after we are done with the directory synchronization, then we will see that we also have some data in the system. So now, as we go to the dashboard, to the configuration of the system, I'm looking for directory synchronization. When I click here, it says you need to have directory synchronization installed. So we need to do that, and we'll do that now. And the directory synchronization is now composed of two services, two components, separate. One is the server or service, as we call it. And this is the agent, and this is the service. And I will start by installing the service. The service is actually taking all the load from OpenLM server. So what we said, okay, let's remove all the load from OpenLM, let's give it to an external service, and that's what we did. So I'm going to in this version, it's the first version, we are going to use a username which will be used by all the different components. And this is going to be changed soon, but for now, that's how it works. So I'm going to put a username, that's my name, and just put a password. I will use the same password on the agent. So now it's installing. The other component, the agent is actually speaking with the directory itself. So it's collecting the information, sending it to the directory synchronization. Directory synchronization, the server is doing all the data fusion. Okay, so that one exists. There will no change. I'm throwing that out. Here there is a change, and so on. It communicates with OpenLM server to get only the changes. So that was also installed, and now I have the server component. Before I go to the interface, let us install the agent. So that was the service, and now I'm going to install the agent. So as I said, I need to name the agent. Note that I can have many agents. So I can have 15 different agents located worldwide in different locations, some within the one network of the organization, the LAN, and some can be outside on the internet. So I'm very flexible on the configuration. I'm going to use the same credentials, and that's the installation. So in that case, I'm just installing everything on the same machine. Once I have the two components, I need to do the process of authentication. So we're doing part of the processes as part of the installation process, just to reduce the complexity. But some of the processes are something I will need to deal with. So let me start. So as I installed, I got an icon here, Directory Synchronization Service. It opened in my default browser, and I want to do that here. So open it here. Okay, very good. So that's the interface of the directory synchronization. And as you can see, I have the following option: agent manager, domain manager, sync manager, entities relation. I have configuration. We'll do that soon. But for now, the important thing is I have a pending approval. So you remember we set up the agent and we said, that's your server. And now it's like saying, knocking on the door saying, approve me so I can speak with you. And that's what we do. So I click here and I'm changing the settings. So it's enabled and approving it. So it was approved. Now it's active. So that's good. And now I'm going to do the same with OpenLM server. So I go to service configuration. It says this is the OpenLM server. That's the new port, by the way. the OpenLM port, and I'm just going to click and ask for validation. To the control panel, external platform, and yes, I can see the prompt saying which platform do you want to use. So we have ServiceNow, which was already integrated with version 4.8. It's very interesting. I invite you to try. I'm doing this, Directory Synchronization. And as you can see, we have a new DSS request, Directory Synchronization request, waiting for approval. And I know that's me, I did it, so I'm okay with that. I'm going to approve it. And let's see what it says now. Okay, it says, okay, I approved the DSS, Directory Synchronization Service. Note it's on the same machine as OpenLM server, but can be on completely different machine. That's important. And now it's asking me for what to do with the existing LDAP configuration. So as I told you, we started with 4.8 configuration with already some synchronization defined, and we wanted to get them. So I'm going to say start the migration. I want them in the new system. I click apply, and it says it can take an hour. I don't think it will take so long, but let's just let it run. And now the synchronization is running. Let's let it run for a minute, and I want to show you what's going on the license servers. So as you can see, I've got some. So I approved this license server, so you can report to me this broker, and I have some licenses, so you can see the quantities and what exact licenses are we talking about, and I can see also usage, as of course it worked in any version of OpenLM. So this is definitely working. Now I want to show you again the interface as we are waiting for the synchronization to be done. Let's go to administration again and go to directory synchronization. We need to log in into here. So, and just copy the password I put in here. Let's log in, and so here we manage everything. So what I would like to see now, I would like to see my previous synchronizations that were already in the system. So we see, yes, that's our test server. Directory type is Active Directory. We support about 5, and we have 3 different synchronizations. So I can click here or go here to the Synchronization Manager, and we see these nodes are synchronized. Typically, our customer configurations are much more complex, but good for this demonstration. So I have the node that we are synchronizing, and let's see the entities. As you can see, I'm doing that outside the system. So it's not in OpenLM. This is OpenLM. That's directory synchronization. That's important. And these are the entities. And I can see relations. This is not relevant because I didn't synchronize groups. If you go now to the system, I think we will be able to see the users that we synchronize. So it's actually working.